Hey guys, Decap13 here, and welcome back to some more Let's Play Fate Grand Order. Let's see. So we're gonna be going to the different villages today. Oh yeah, before I started recording, I did a couple of rolls for Gilgamesh. To be specific, three single rolls. The very first single roll, what do I get? Not Gilgamesh, but something pretty close to Gilgamesh. Yeah, fucking Enkidu. Not even on right up, of course. But of all the things for me to get when Gil's on right up, had to be his clay boyfriend. All right then. All right, what do we got here? Berserkers and archers. All right, lancers it is. I also have a level 90 Proto-Coup. I'll use my Reshkigal. I'll keep Waver in. Really should level up Karna a bit more. Oh, right, this is my event team. No. What am I doing? This is my Gilfest grinding team for tickets. This is what I need to change. I'll give Karna King of the Sixth Heaven. I guess I'll throw it down. Oh, no. Wait, you throw a 4-star in there. Yeah, Gintoki. If it does come down to that. I doubt it will, though. This is the first village in our list. Get your hoods on and follow me, just like we discussed. Understood. We're counting on you, Pachi. Depending on how this manifesto goes over, we might need to make a hasty escape. Halt! Who goes there? We are the army who will bring the tyrannical Ivan IV to justice. We're here to deliver a manifesto to you from our leader. We ask that you read it and give us your response to its call to action. You're with the rebel army. Okay, come on in. Huh, that was easy. I'm actually kind of worried now. Everything seems to be alright, at least for now. Let's see what they have to say. So that's why we're hoping you can help us out with any food and medical supplies you can spare. Maybe it's because he's grown old or because someone's talked him into it, or because there's something strange going on in Russia right now. But all I know for sure is that the Tsar hasn't said one thing for the past 3 months, and the Oprichniki have cracked down on us harder than ever. The only reason this village has escaped their wrath is because we're located far away from the closest highway, because of how poor we are. All that said, young ones, the Tsar is still the Tsar. We Yaga must never forget what he has done for Russia, and for us. If he hadn't come up with a way to combine us with demonic beasts and turn us into Yaga, we would have died out long ago. It's only by his grace that we are alive at all, so we cannot lend our aid to the rebel army. I see. Then I guess we're done here. Come on, John. Let me finish. That said, the Oprichniki have been out of control. They are neither Yaga nor the old humans. If the Tsar refuses to keep them in check, we have no choice but to defend ourselves. So the question is, are you strong enough to take them on? That is what I would like you to show me. You heard the man. How can we do that? Oh, that's easy. We have a number of strong Yaga here in our village, as well as some domesticated demonic beasts. What do you say to a battle against them? Not to the death, but anything else goes. Doesn't seem like we have much of a choice. We'll fight them, and we'll beat them. Oh ho, interesting. I don't know who you are, but small as you appear, that seems a rather difficult task. I can't say I care to demonstrate my strength in this way. But I suppose we have no other choice. Very well then, let's give them a good show. I don't get it. Why must everything in this world be decided by strength alone? Mash? I'm sorry, it's nothing. Okay, Master, please go ahead and give Avakibron your orders. Let's look the Yaga out of the way first. Oh, come on, don't beat up Ereshkigal. Alright, let me heal up Eresh. Let's actually take out the fucking demon beast first this time. Right. Yeah, that should help us survive a bit longer. Really launch off Noble Phantasms on the next wave, huh? Ereshkigal chain, why not? That'll definitely finish it. And ooh, tough demonic beast. Alright. This should finish it. I don't see why it wouldn't. Yeah, let's let this the crab.
我がかかとこそ
Or was
冥
it a
府
four?
の怒り
I was negative.
イデオ
Oh no, that's right, it
発
was a
熱
crab.
神殿反省するのだわ気軽イルカエラ
俺が上回っただけだ。貴様が気にすることではない。
Not a bad haul. That should do it. As you can see, they are still very much alive. You mean you really didn't kill a single one? Are you a servant? Why, yes, I am. I see. We have heard of servants before. They say you are monsters from another world and that you are terribly powerful, despite looking like humans. I've even heard that some servants possess power great enough to rival the Tsar. Are you one of them? No, there is nothing particularly special about me. I am just a simple scholar and golem keeper, a perfectly ordinary human, as you might find anywhere in the world. On behalf of our village, I promise to offer our full support to the rebel army. Though I'm afraid we can only spare a little in the way of food and medical supplies. That's okay. Even a little bit goes a long way. By the way, I trust you'll be delivering your manifesto to the two neighboring villages as well. Let me write you a letter of recommendation. It should help things go more smoothly when you visit them. Thank you so much. Although I'm afraid we've lost contact with the other two villages recently. They may have been overrun by bandits or demonic beasts. If they have, could I ask you to give them a proper burial? Okay, we will. Please store any food or medicine you can spare in this carrier golem, if you don't mind. Now then, let us head to the next village. Alright, this one's assassins and sabers. And I'm gonna bring an archer. Yeah, Gil. Then I'll pack my own caster. Yeah, this should be fine. Actually, if we're gonna be assassins, I'd rather not have you in here. So let's. Where is? Why is it so far down? No, now I've gone too far down. Oh, there it is. This is terrible. Damn, this is definitely a no-go. Let's head to the next village. Shouldn't we look for survivors? Don't bother. There aren't any. Hello? Is anyone there? Hello, Shadow Border crew? Are you able to scan the area for signs of life? We're tuning our equipment to make it capable of scanning for this world's life forms, using that Yaga's life science as a base. But the Shadow Border scanner is an older model, so I'm told it will take time to enter the parameters and cross-reference it with the approximation data. Suffice to say, it will go faster if you just look around, Advocate Braun. Understood. Hey! Anybody? Over here! Master! Are you alright? Yeah, I was just knocked out for a while there. What happened here? Bandits. We fought them off as best as we could, but we only lasted 4 days before they... Damn it. Are there any other survivors? I'm afraid not. Damn it! Where'd these bandits run off to? I don't know for sure, but probably one of the neighboring villages. We were just at one of those villages ourselves, so they must have gone to the other one. I've got a map here. Come on! I'm afraid we can't take you with us, but I can leave this food and some medical supplies with you. Thanks. I think I'll be okay once I rest up. As for food, well, I'll figure something out. If you're gonna go help the other village, then hurry before they end up like ours. Then again, I guess you can't really call this a village anymore. Sorry to leave you, but we gotta go. Please take one of my golems so we can hurry there, Master. I would hate for us to arrive too late. Master, the golem I sent on ahead has found the village. How's it looking? Not good. They have lit a red signal flare. Oh crap, that's a distress signal! There might still be time. I see shadows in front of us. They're Yaga. Ah! Ah! Out of our way! Out of our way! Move aside or I'll kill you dead! It would seem they are not interested in a peaceful discussion. I believe things will go faster if I simply knock them aside. Right, please hurry. Alright, time to deal with some bandits. Again, nothing out of the ordinary for us, really. Lost belts are really no different than singularities. In a way. Gill some enemies too. Well, not what I was hoping would happen, but sure. Alright, let's have a Yaga go after Sanzo. She'll be the best at dealing with this. But we don't kill him first. Cool. Nice to have the safety measure, though. Alright. Hey, the big guy's an assassin. That works out very well for me. I don't see why this wouldn't kill. Yeah. Especially with the CE we have too. Damn, Gil. Completely unnecessary, but hey. Let's finish him off in style. Man, if only Gil got his fucking animation update during Gilfest. That would have been nice. Ooh, 2 more things of gunpowder. Starting to need more of those on my personal account, because I gotta level up Anastasia's skills, and of course for each of them at level 8 she needs what? No, level 9 she needs 72 gunpowders for each skill. There they go. It would seem there's no need to follow them.
Guess they weren't actually trying to attack us.
Right, if anything, it looked more like they were running away. Some of them even broke away during the fight.
I am sure there are any number of reasons why they may have done so, but for the moment, perhaps our time might be better spent making haste to our goal? What is it, Holmes? It took some time to register the Yaga biosignals, but I've managed by using Pachis as a base. That said, at this point all I can do is use this data to determine if any Yaga are in the direction you're headed. For example, at this moment, I can tell you that there are several hundred Yaga along your current path. I rather doubt they're all bandits, so it would seem that there is still an opportunity to stop those who are.
Come on, John, let's hurry.
Wonder why those ones are so quick to run away then.
What? What's going on?
Oh, hello there. Are you the people from Chaldea?
Huh? Huh?
Did you say Chaldea?
Is that a no?
No, I mean, yes, we are from Chaldea, but...
Thank you so much for all your help. I'm sorry I couldn't thank you properly back then. Oh, I didn't realize we'd left the distress signal burning. Hey, somebody put that fire out.
I'm sorry, but... Huh?
What do you mean? Aren't you the ones who picked up our signal?
Sorry, we don't know what you're talking about. How about you begin at the beginning, Gramps?
Yes, of course. It was the second day of the bandits' attack. We erected a barricade and did our best to hold them off from within the village, but none of us here are strong enough to defeat even a lowly foot soldier. Nor, unfortunately, were the bandits. Things may have actually been better had they clearly outmatched us. Had they done that, they likely would have just made off with our possessions and spared our lives. But unfortunately, they were just as desperate as we were. A number of them were injured. I imagine they must have run into some fierce resistance at the last village they attacked. So for them, things had reached a point where it was either kill or be killed. Of course, we lit a distress signal soon after the attack began, but we didn't actually expect anyone to respond. The Obrichniki certainly wouldn't. They only exist to serve the Tsar, after all. At best, we held out a sliver of hope that one of the nearby villages might send someone to help.
And that's when someone from Chaldea came.
Exactly. They were human, just like you, so at first I thought they were a mage. I was certain we were holed up safely, with no way for anyone to get in. But suddenly, without any warning at all, they were just... here. Then they approached the bandits and asked them why they were doing something so foolish. That enraged the bandits, so they turned their fury on the human. But whoever the human was, they defeated all of the bandits at once. Though they were completely surrounded, the human used some kind of weapon, a thin sword or something, to cut off a few of the bandits' limbs. I couldn't tell if it was magecraft or a trick you might see from a street performer in a big city. And then there was that frightening bloodlust. It was like an immense pressure emanating from this human. I think even a Kritchat would turn tail and run from it. The bandits were clearly shocked. They must have realized they were facing an opponent they couldn't possibly defeat. The ones who remained began to panic, scrambling to get away. They fled in the direction you came from. We were still dumbfounded by what we'd just seen when the human audibly sighed and said, "What a headache. Once again I have cut something worthless." To me, their sigh sounded more than a little weary, but also kind and comforting. Then, after treating the injured Yaga's wounds, they headed off into the mountains. By this point I had relaxed a bit, so I called out to them and asked their name. Their only reply was, "I'm from Chaldea." Then they clicked their tongue and went on their way.
What did this person look like?
Well, strangely enough, nobody can seem to remember them clearly. We do know their clothes were worn, and they looked like they had been wandering for a long time. While their face was covered up by a hood, I distinctly remember they didn't have any fur, just like you, so I knew they weren't Yaga.
Then there's another human here besides us? Or maybe another servant?
If this person is claiming to be from Chaldea, they must be an acquaintance of yours. They may be one of the heroic spirits in Chaldea's records, like Atalante. At any rate, the important thing is that they're not our enemy. In fact, they even seem to be improving our reputation.
What do you make of this, Holmes? Had Mr. John summoned this servant, assuming that is what they are, it would make sense for them to say they are from Chaldea. But the only servant we have summoned here is Avakebron. Another possibility is that it's a servant summoned here by the land itself, like Miss Atalante, but that too seems highly unlikely. In which case, it may truly be another survivor from Chaldea. One who simply happened to wander into this frozen version of Russia, much like us. Someone who wanders into other worlds.
Oh, I almost forgot. This is the Rebel Army's manifesto. Mind taking a look at it? Ah, now I see. So Chaldea is allied with the Rebel Army. Well, I certainly can't refuse after you saved our lives. We will gladly support you in any way we can. Great, that's 2 out of the 3 villages on our side. Not bad. There's nothing we can do about the one that was wiped out before we got here, though. Oh, right. There was a single survivor at the village that got wiped out. Can you send someone there to pick him up? If you can, it'd be nice for you to give him some work here. I'm sure he wasn't hurt too badly. Well now, a survivor you say? Alright, I'll send someone out right away. Great. That takes care of our mission.
Excellent. Now then, Pachi. There is one more place we need to stop, so here's where we must part ways. Though temporarily.
Huh? You want me to go back by myself?
Wouldn't it be quicker for you to return without us, since we won't be slowing you down?
Are you kidding? Avakebron's golems move way faster than I can. But okay. I'll ask the village chief to help me snag a bicorn. Alright, I'll give our report to Atalante. Just make sure you get back to the stronghold as soon as you can.
Take care out there.
Man, it still feels weird, having people be so kind like this. Anyway, I doubt you guys are gonna betray us or get cold feet all of a sudden, but don't take too long coming back, you hear?
I think we're making some pretty decent progress in the Lost Belt. Which really at this point is all I can ask for. John, returning to base.
Mash Kirlight, returning to base. Welcome back, you two. Nice to meet you in person, Avakebron. It's an honor to meet such a distinguished golem master. No matter how bad things may get, the artist in me will never stop appreciating fine art.
You are too kind, Leonardo da Vinci. I am the one who should be honored to meet you. Truth be told, I am somewhat embarrassed to be greeted so kindly by such a renowned genius. Now then, I take it you called us here to do more than merely deliver a report.
Yep, I did. Come on, Mash, you're overdue for a checkup. Oh, right. I'm sorry, I completely forgot. I figured as much. Emergency or not, you still transformed again, didn't you? Normally I'd want to examine you immediately, but of course circumstances aren't exactly ideal here. Alright, off to the exam room with you. Take care of John for me, would you, Holmes?
Certainly. Very well then. Goldoff? Now that we have the information Mr. John acquired for us, what say we use it to plan our next move?
Yes, of course. So, what do we do next?
Well, to begin...
Okay, you're all done. Doesn't look like anything major is messed up. Your servant spirit origin is still too unstable to rely on, but physically you're totally healthy. Better than healthy, even. Back at Chaldea, your human body and servant spirit origin failed to work together, causing your body to attack itself in the form of auto-intoxication. But it looks like that disappeared during our voyage into void space. I really am a genius, aren't I? Even my medical care is flawless. Technical Advisor Da Vinci. Can I talk to you about something? Oh, this sounds serious. Let me just grab myself a seat here. Right then, what's up? Hopefully it's something I can help you with. Be honest with me. How many more times can I fight as a servant? I know I've reached my limit as a demi-servant. But this is all too big for me to just sit on the sidelines and do nothing. I need to be able to fight beside Master again, even if it's unsafe. Da Vinci? Oh, forget it. No more cagey answers and no more keeping secrets. It's really not a question of how many at this point. You're perfectly capable of fighting plenty now. Remember, you awoke the spirit origin that had been dormant in you for the last year. You might not be quite as strong as you once were, what with the extreme cold and all, but it's not as if fighting is causing you a lot of pain, right? And that is because your body is acclimated to being a demi-servant again. At this point, it's actually all just a mental thing. Of course, that's really the biggest challenge of all. Really? But I thought Galahad was gone. That he decided I wasn't worthy. Yep, I bet he did, the jerk. I'm pretty annoyed about that myself. It's been a year since the battle at the Temple of Time. After handling your medical care during that whole time, there's only one thing I can say for sure. Galahad isn't helping you anymore. That so-called Holy Knight abandoned his responsibility to you. He might as well have written you a Dear John letter to say he wasn't going to help anymore, and you'll just have to take care of yourself from now on. So yeah, he's bailed on you. And he isn't coming back. Ever. But then, how was I able to transform? Simple. You and Galahad are different people. He only really allowed you to give form to his power. You were borrowing it from him. And thanks to your experience in battle, you grew into your own as a Knight of the Shield. The person you were when you fused with that heroic spirit and the person you are now are pretty much completely different people at this point. Galahad may be gone, but you are a full-fledged demi-servant in your own right now. Get it? The harm transforming has been doing to you, and the fact that your spirit origin seems weaker, none of that has to do with Galahad. It's all you. Your body. Your mind. Your weakness is just the state your body is in, and your inability to transform as completely as you like is just a matter of your own mind holding you back. Can you be more specific? Does that mean if I can resolve those two problems, I can be useful to everyone again? Well, with Galahad gone, your spirit origin dropped pretty sharply. You've lost more than half your power. It's no wonder you're not as strong as you used to be. So that's the plain old physical problem. It also means you've lost the skills, gifts, and protection that came from his legend. From here on, you'll need to develop and hone your own way of fighting. Of course, we can help you with that. We just have to get back to the original plan. The original plan? You mean Project Ortnax? Oh, you know about that? Did Romani tell you? Oh, actually I heard about it from Director Marisbury. He said heroic spirits would probably reject a demi-servant. So Project Ortnax would make up for any difficulty I might have in functioning properly as a servant. I can't believe he had that much foresight and still didn't think to stop the demi-servant experiments. Just what did he think heroic spirit bodies are anyway? He should be ashamed of himself, letting them degrade just so he could accomplish his goal. Well, not that I've been overly picky about my own methods. Me standing here now talking to you is proof enough, I suppose. Anywho, your physical strength issue should take care of itself over time. We can talk more about that later. So that leaves the mental aspect, Mash. Right now, you're scared to transform. Your body refuses to make the servant transformation because you're so riddled with doubts. Doubts? I am? Yes, and I don't mean our last conversation about how being a servant could harm you. Okay. So you're saying there's a different problem? Yep. This time you don't really want to fight. Of course, that may have been true for all the other times as well. But when we were fighting to save humanity, it was obvious we were doing the right thing. So because of that, you were able to fight in spite of your fear. But that's not true anymore. We aren't facing that kind of threat this time around. You can sense it, and I'm sure John can too. And that makes this an even bigger problem than Galahad being gone, or the harmful side effects of your transformation into a servant. Mash Kierlight. Can you fight for what you believe is right, even against your fellow man? Even when that enemy hasn't done anything wrong?
Well, how is this even helpful? All we've learned is that Russia has been overrun by a bunch of beastly barbarians.
Gordov, they're not beasts. They're Yaga.
Isn't that just what they've decided to call themselves?
Not at all. The Kabbalah and alchemy may both be magecraft, but they are also quite different. Their magecraft base and their spells may both differ greatly. But both are part of a system of knowledge and mechanics that is collectively known as magecraft. Beastmen and Yaga may appear the same to you, but I assure you that they are entirely different. The creatures you refer to, Gordov, are werewolves, lycanthropes, and the like. They are demonic beasts who are awakened to their true nature by blood. However, Yaga are a fusion of demonic beast and human. As such, their closest approximation would be combined phantasmals, such as chimeras.
I see. So Yaga and Beastmen have different origins, eh?
Correct. However, the fundamental issue lies elsewhere.
Oh?
Listen closely. The Yaga have formed a country. They have their own culture, their own way of life.
And is that in some way different from the singularities you claim to have resolved?
Yes, very much so. The singularities we resolved created hypothetical versions of history at different points in time. Think of each as something of a diversion from the main track of history. Chaldea resolved these singularities by ray-shifting to those points in time and setting history back on its proper course. This is different though. The divergent point in history seems to be 450 years ago. Most likely it occurred at the moment the Great Code Wave hit, and Ivan the Terrible merged with demonic beasts to become a Yaga.
And this world's singularity occurred in the past. It's over.
Precisely. In other words, the hypothetical history the singularity created has continued into the present. Take Pachi's scoped bolt-action hunting rifle, for example. It is very similar to a modern-day gun, but it is still far from cutting-edge technology. I believe it is made with engineering that, from our standpoint, would be half a century out of date. But that sort of firearm was cutting-edge back when it was introduced in Ivan the Terrible's era. Furthermore, this one has a major trait that sets it apart from our own modern-day weaponry. It is specifically designed to kill demonic beasts.
Yes, I noticed that as well. I have a similar magical gun myself, you see. When he fired his gun, a spell was activated, but it was a primitive one.
I believe that weapon was made with the intention to be used by the Yaga. Most likely, it uses magical energy instead of additional gunpowder to increase its muzzle velocity, thereby increasing its round's penetrative power. Pachi seemed perfectly comfortable with it, as did the other Yaga. And from that we can deduce that this world is entirely separate from our own. It followed an entirely different track of history than ours did. As such, it would be inappropriate to call it a singularity.
I don't care what you call it. We have a much more important question that needs answering. Will overthrowing Ivan the Terrible actually solve the problem here?
Given the nature of our enemy, I do think defeating him would have some effect on this world.
Come now, aren't you the world's greatest detective? Aren't you supposed to have brilliant flashes of insight or something?
I'm afraid there is very little to work with, even in the way of circumstantial evidence. Besides...
Here we go.
Now is not the time.
No, he actually said it!
That's the great detective for you.
That said, we may not know the full extent of the situation, but the problem isn't especially complex. After all, we know exactly who our enemy is. A version of Ivan the Terrible who's been ruling Russia for roughly 500 years.
That is the single largest point of differentiation between our Russia's history and this one. There can be no doubt that he is the key to this world. For the moment, our interest would be best served by continuing to aid the rebel army, and that is sure to lead us to Ivan the Terrible in due time.
So what you're saying is that we've got a long road ahead full of twists and turns. Damn it!
There's something else we should discuss too. Indeed, the human mage serving Ivan the Terrible, and the human-looking servant. The latter is most likely the woman we saw at Chaldea. Of course, it could also be the Koyanskaya or the priest.
Just thinking about them gives me chills. Well, me and my bank account in Koyanskaya's case.
The most pressing problem is the mage. Kirshtaria called himself a crypta. He also said that there were 7 of them, which corresponds to the number of mages from Team A who disappeared from their coffins. It follows then that one of those 7 mages is now serving Ivan the Terrible. Assuming we wish to take Koyanskaya at her word, the mage is Kadok Zemlupus. Of course, we cannot be certain that this is the case at this stage. But if it is, we must ask ourselves what measures he is likely to take to deal with us. Ordinary people are scorned, and strong people envied. Those fancy mages from noble families competing on skill? What a joke. As if they've ever won anything with their own 2 hands. Me? I worked to get where I was. I poured everything I had into it. Sometimes I'd cry like a baby about how meaningless it all felt. But I'd always dry my tears and keep on going. And the ones who were born with money and power hated me for it. They called me a worthless dog. They said I wasn't even human, that I was nothing more than livestock. But when 7 people were assembled to serve as humanity's first line of defense, it was different. I was chosen to be one of them, and not for political reasons. They chose me on my own merits, nothing more. But then it was all over before it even began. I never had a chance. That's right. We were done and there was nothing we could do about it.
You have the most frightful expression on your face, Kadok. Are you alright?
Huh? Oh, sorry. Nothing to worry about, I promise.
Why are you always so quick to apologize? Do you still feel inferior?
Sorry. Damn it. Look, I can't really help being a walking inferiority complex.
You still feel that way even though you were able to summon me. Luxury, jewelry, sell-off.
Sometimes I have no idea what you're saying. So, being able to summon you is a luxury, like jewelry. And if I have a problem with that, you're gonna sell me off? Is that right?
Yes, that is perfect. Well done.
I guess you're right. I'm a first-class master, which is why you're a first-class servant.
But aren't you worried about how much magical energy you have?
You know that's a sore spot for me. It's a good thing that casters don't need much magical energy from their masters, but it still takes a hell of a lot to make a workshop and power a noble phantasm.
Don't worry about that. My darling V will handle it.
In proper human history, V was supposed to be some unimaginably horrific monster.
Oh, he is. Nikolai Gogol came up with him. He's a monster with very heavy eyelids. But Gogol didn't come up with him out of nowhere. He drew inspiration from the fearsome Balor of Irish myth. And there were other sources of inspiration, like Solodivi Bunyo, whose fiery gaze could reduce the entire towns to ash, and Bonyak, who is said to have killed no fewer than 40,000 people. V is the Romanovs' little Easter egg, our secret weapon.
Maybe he wandered into proper human history from the Lost Belt. V's power always was abnormal, even in his own time. Well, for my part, I was also surprised to find you were a mage, in the true sense of the word.
I suppose. Now that I've been redefined as a heroic spirit, I've become a mage representing the version of Russia we are in now. I may have been a pathetic failure in proper human history, but in this Lost Belt I've become a Grand Duchess of Ice. And it's all thanks to you, Cadox and Lupus.
I'm sorry for the twisted way I summoned you. It's just, that was the only way I could make sure you'd be a powerful, heroic spirit.
Was what I said unclear? I was thanking you in my own way. I don't mind that I'm irregular. Thanks to that, I cannot even remember my family's faces clearly. I may look like a human on the outside, but inside I'm much more Yaga. And because you summoned me to this lost belt, where even historical records are muddled, all I can remember is that I'm Anastasia, the Grand Duchess, and a shaman who made a pact with V. Either way, I have no attachment whatsoever to proper human history. I'm happy to be a Lost Belt servant. You don't have to worry about anything. You are free to make use of me however you see fit.
I know. Believe me, I have every intention of taking advantage of that power of yours.
It is thanks to that power that I am able to kill. I will kill Chaldea, so that they no longer get in their way. I will kill the rebel army, who would defy the Tsardom even in this lost belt, Russia. And then...
Whoa there, that's far enough, Grand Duchess. Remember, he's only sleeping. You've got to keep a lid on that magical energy of yours, too. At least while you're here. He's gonna keep on sleeping like a baby. That's how it has to be for the time being.
You're not much fun, are you?
Oh, come off it. You think I don't know that? But I can't afford to lose again. Not this time. I'm gonna see this through to the end no matter what. If I don't, that's it. I'm dead.
I see. Then I hope you'll do your best to keep fighting, my master.
I will.
Okay, that's enough narrow-mindedness for one day. I'm going to work on my dress.
Wait, hold up. Why would you even need that?
Why, for the ball, of course.
There aren't any balls here.
Then I'll throw one myself.
You think anyone here still knows how to dance? You're gonna have to trust me on this. They don't. Not in this world. Oh crap, you're not playing a dance with me, are you?
Of course not. Don't worry, I'm only joking. I would never put on a ball. And stop looking at me as though I were some sort of monster. The next time you do that, I'll freeze your feet to the floor and make you sleep in the hallway standing up. There. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Master. You need to handle my charming insistence that I have my own way much better than you have been.
This is exhausting.
Morning, John. Did you get a good night's sleep? I know a 4-hour nap isn't much, but I bet it's a lot better than sleeping outside. Now here's some coffee and a plate of hard-boiled eggs. Or at least, rations that kinda resemble them. We ran out of eggs way back, sadly. Still, doesn't this make it feel like a typical morning inside a cramped submarine?
Thanks, Da Vinci.
No problem. Anyway, now that you're awake, there's something important we have to discuss.
Is this about MASH?
Nice to see you're still quick on the uptake, and thanks for worrying about her. That's kind of you. I've put Mash back in her old role as navigator. She's on board, naturally. Your heroic spirit summoning went great. Avocabron is proving to be a very dependable servant. He's probably the best one we could have hoped for in this frozen wasteland. You can't fight the cold with combat prowess alone, now can you? Even Napoleon ended up losing to Russia's cold, and that was proper human history to boot. But Avocabron's golems can serve as walls and labor. Hell, they're fixing the border even as we speak. And of course they make great soldiers too. So since Mash can't fight, there's no reason for her to accompany you or for you to have to keep her safe.
Good. I don't want to add to her burden.
Oh? Burden, huh? Well, in that regard, you'll just have to wait a little bit longer.
Huh?
Master!
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm so sorry, Master. I won't be able to help you on the front line anymore.
It's okay. I'll be fine. We'll still be fighting together, just in different places. Right.
Oh, Mash.
Good morning, Mr. John. I'm sorry we couldn't let you rest longer. I do hope you made the most of your warm blanket while you had the opportunity. Now then, back to the task at hand. Our goal remains the same. Find out what has happened here. Thanks to your previous efforts, we now know several things. There's a new race of people called Yaga. Ivan the Terrible lives and has ruled for the past 500 years. An endless storm rages at the fringes of this world. And there's the mysterious tree. I believe unraveling the mysteries of each of these points will determine our future course of action. To begin, we need more information on Ivan the Terrible. Fortunately, we have the rebel army's trust. At present, we plan to continue working with him in an effort to make our way to him. If at all possible, I would like to help the rebel army with their aims as well. Helping them to reach a point where they can defeat the Obrichniki would be ideal. Atalante may be a famous hunter in Greek myth, but I fear she would have a hard time facing Ivan the Terrible.
Can't you summon a more powerful servant? You know, like the King of Heroes, or the King of Conquerors, or the King of Knights?
I'm afraid that in that particular regard, our prospects are rather dim at the present moment. Summoning such a powerful servant here would be sure to spark all manner of rumors. If the rebel army hasn't heard any such rumors, then it's safe to assume there is no heroic spirit in this world who could save it single-handedly. Of course, there's always the possibility that they have heard such rumors, and simply haven't yet told us.
I suppose that would be too much to hope for.
This is not an ideal time for a bold, daring plan. At the moment, we need to focus on laying foundations.
You said it. Okay, Gordoff, time for you to go back to checking tomorrow's weather forecast.
Anyone could tell you what tomorrow's weather will be here. Blizzard, blizzard, and more blizzard.
Alright. See you later, Mash.
See you soon. Right, good luck, Master.
Alright, so we just got section 8 next. Alright, so I will take care of that in the next episode. So, I'll see you guys then. Bye!